What's the weirdest thing you've done with your so? One time we went on vacation in a coastal town and got absolutely it-faced together. Our hotel was in a walking distance, so we went back after our shenanigans. We both hopped in the shower together and I sat on the floor because I wasn't feeling well. I jokingly said that she should help me throw up, and without missing a beat, she shoved her finger down my throat and I threw up all over both of us. Best place to be at that moment was the shower, so it all worked out. Edit. To answer a few of your questions. Yes. We are getting married. I can't wait. Edit 2. Thanks for the gold. And silver? Thanks for the silver. We've been married for 4 years. Every night after we are done cuddling and turn opposite ways to sleep, we press our butts together and make kissing noises. Like our butts are kissing each other goodnight. We were with a bunch of friends in the park. Drinking. I had to go pee. So I went behind a bush and squatted down right on a nettle. My entire ass and vag on fire. To relieve the pain and to stop the itching, my boyfriend spanked me continuously for at least 10 minutes. It helped though. An ex of mine once woke up, grabbed my morning wood, and whispered preparing for takeoff, and moved it like a flight stick. I have yet to have another girl make me laugh at my own pen 15 like that. And no, she wasn't a pilot. And neither am I. Edit. Holy duck. I just woke up to this thing exploding. Top comment is now about my pen 15. And obligatory thanks for gold. One time when we got home from the bars and both had to pee. She sat and peed, but spread her legs enough to let me pee between them into the toilet. I knew she was the one. That's a lot of risk for her with alcohol involved. My husband and I have a ritual where every night after he gets out of the shower he approaches me naked and allows me to cup his gonads for 10-30 seconds. It's completely non-sexual and I can't even remember when we started it. But it's a nightly occurrence now and I get upset if he doesn't let me. Holy hell. My wife does this too. Usually there's some muttering of approval. My favorite being, ah yes. Waity. Yes. My boyfriend let me aim for him while peeing once. I asked if I could help as a joke while I was in the bathroom for something else and he's like, oh, it wasn't a no, and I'm the type to play chicken and the how weird will you let me get sense. So I took hold while quietly repeating I help. Okay. I help periodically. It's a lot harder to aim than it looks. We pretend like we think the other can't see us in public places to embarrass each other. Like he'll be at the water fountain at the mall and he'll start waving his arms wildly and get more and more frantic to get my attention even though he knows I see him. We're a little weird. My sister does that to a lot of her friends. Especially when she is out of town. I react by pretending not to see her and looking around everywhere for her. I had the urge to lightly bite her knee. Found out it's a very weirdly placed erogenous zone for her and she feels weird now. I do it from time to time and it's only gotten more sensitive. So now it tickles her. But only if I lightly bite it. That's how you get kneed in the face, my friend. My ex and I had a weird little competition that endured 6 long years. Whenever we showered together we'd try to sneakily start peeing on the other one without them noticing. Bonus points for finishing completely. Or jet in M while facing each other. I could only really get him while he was shampooing, but his parts gave him an unfair advantage. So he def won. We waxed each other's butts with a home waxing kit. We just wanted to know what waxing was like, so we bought a kit at Walgreens and really went crazy with it. As weird as it sounds, it was actually kind of a sweet moment between us. We hadn't even been together a full year yet and I had never been so intimate and vulnerable with another person before. But he didn't make fun of me or make me feel gross. He just did it. Then I repaid the favor and we both enjoyed our smooth butts together. I remember feeling so comfortable with him after that. Like I could trust him with anything. Edit. I'm talking the exterior and chasm of the butt. Also, we're still together. Comma and thanks for the upvotes. Second edit. Use olive oil. Baby oil. or mineral oil to get excess wax off. She was short and had triple D's. She got down on all fours and I pretended to milk her like a cow. It was hilarious. Edit, trust me. Your comment about my username is unoriginal. I was grabbing her butt and she was super not having it, and threatened to climb up and fart in my face. I told her she didn't have the gonads to fart in my face. She did. We narrate our dogs in different accents. He does a French accent for our male dog and I do a Spanish accent for our female dog. No idea why those were picked. It just kinda happened. The worst is when someone comes to your house and gives your dog a voice, but it's obviously the wrong voice. Two of my best friends both give my dog the perfect voice. Like, more spot on than I can do. It makes my world complete. Shout out to anonymous best friends. He changed my pad for me. I was incredibly sick with the flu, coupled with the fact that I was on my period. So I was super miserable and fatigued. I was on the toilet trying to change my pad by myself at first, but then I guess I fell asleep or passed out. When I came to, Miso was in the bathroom and asking me where I kept my pads. I told him and he proceeded to change it for me, get me cleaned up and back in bed, put my meds and water on the bedside table and tuck me in. Then he went and made homemade chicken noodle soup. Miso is an absolute saint. Edit, I honestly just thought this comment would have been buried. Thanks for your lovely comments. Miso is really an amazing man. My ex and I were long distance for a few months before we got involved. During that time, we ended up getting competitive about who could eat the most spicy food. Mind you, we weren't together before she left, and only got close while we talked online. So, when she came home, I invited her over, cooked, etc. At the end of dinner, I pulled out this spicy salsa and ate a big heaping spoonful. Being the competitive type, she did the same and quickly realized that the stuff wasn't a joke. After about 2 spoons each, we were both clutching our stomachs in pain. I eventually ran out to get some Pepto-Bismol. It really didn't do anything but make our puke pink when we both decided the best answer was to stick our fingers down our throats and vomit. Still got laid. A year and a half we were married. Had an adult conversation about conflicting feelings I was having that led to us being stronger as a couple. We would pretend to not know each other when standing in line at bars or restaurants. One of us would try hitting on the other, while the other feigned non-interest. Me, hey girl, you come here often? I'm kind of attractive, so we should date. Oh, that's great. Yeah, you're really something special up. We tried to get the people around us to step in and white knight to protect the uninterested party, but we never got that to happen. Sometimes, we'd even make up unorthodox criteria that had to be met before we'd agree to go on a first date with the other. Oh. I only date men who are shorter than 5 feet 5 inches but wear elevator shoes that make them look taller. We were out for a walk and it was drizzling, so there were a bunch of earthworms out on the sidewalks. He says if you really love me you'll eat one of these worms. Picked one of those bad boys up and down the hatch. He was shocked as hell. 18 years and going. Didn't a guy just die from eating a slug? Not saying those two things are the same but maybe skip the crawly things for dinner. Cute story though. I'm used to using pads when on my period because the thought of sticking a tampon in just scares me for some reason. Whilst on holiday, we had a diving session booked and I was on my period so wearing a tampon was the only solution. We were in the bathroom for 15 minutes as Miso tried to shove a tampon in me while I resisted and screamed. My wife and I went shopping for a new perfume. My wife can't smell, or at least every smell and taste is muffled, so I was tasked with deciding which perfume she should buy. At the store the perfume lady took a tester, sprayed perfume on it, handed it to my wife who directly handed it over to me. I sniffed on it and declared, "No. That's not you. That's too pink." The perfume store lady seemed a little bewildered. but went on to the next bottle. The next one was too fruity, or orange or red, and we finally settled for a bright green and blue smell. Fresh. Herbal fragrance. Meanwhile, the perfume store lady was totally confused and asked in all politeness if we were screwing with her. So we told her how I always describe smells with colors to my wife so she can have a sense of it. Best part of her constitution, she only notices the vibration of the couch when I rip one. I would clean my ex's ears with Q-tips. I know you're not supposed to, but oh well. This wouldn't be so bad. But he never cleaned his ears and asked me to do it after months of him not cleaning. Leading to the most disgusting looking Q-tips I've ever seen. We were laying in bed after spending some quality time together. She gets up to sit at the foot of the bed and I realize I have to release a massive world-ending fart. I try to roll out of bed and leave the room like a gentleman. However, she wants to spend some extra time with me, so she jokingly pulls on my big dig as I try to roll off the bed. Her foot then kicks into my ass from amusement and opens a stargate into a separate dimension. At that moment, I unleashed some WWII Geneva Convention banned chemical warfare directly in line with her open mouth. She gagged and vomited a little. Then we both crumpled over and laughed for a good 5-10 minutes. Edit. Thank you so much for the gold. Whenever I'm just standing around, whether I'm cooking or just anywhere in my BF's vicinity, he'll come up to me and aggressively dry hump me, aggressive and rough to the point where I'm knocked forward with every thrust, for like 3 seconds just to annoy me, because it surprises me, and then walk off like nothing happened. I know it's completely normal to be there to help your wife in sickness and in health. But it will never not be strange having to help her spray medication insert preparation H to relieve her hemorrhoids. My girlfriend and I are pretty weird, but sharing air definitely takes the cake. Essentially it's seeing how long two people can breathe off of one breath of air passed back and forth. It started smoking weed and passing hits, and then we decided to see how long we could go with a fresh breath. Lol. Our record is 10 or so exchanges. Let's see what you got. I actually had to look at an art piece in my drama class that was exactly this. Imagine two noses blocked and two mouths suction to each other so each breath gets progressively more CO2 and less O2. I said they're taking each other's breath away. Class got a good laugh, but I don't think that was point of the piece. Aha. Probably not the weirdest, but definitely weird. She made me sit down naked and stretch the skin on my gonads out and shined a light through them to see the veins and stuff. Every night for close to 8 years now, I rattle the light on the nightstand. And my wife makes a completely absurd face and I turn the light off. There are a lot of nights where we giggle about how odd she can make her face look. I won't turn the light off until a face is made. We constantly make up and sing songs about anything with each other. The songs range anywhere from how much we love each other to the smell of our farts. Neither of us are good singers. We do many weird things. That's just one of them. I drank way too much Everclear with my friends one night and started feeling insanely sick. My boyfriend knows I'm terrified of throwing up, so he stood over me and started listing off really gross things. I cried in sheer terror and puked really hard, and felt better instantly. He cheered really excitedly and started chanting one more time. One more time. He's a good boyfriend.